In tonight's special report, there are no guarantees in life, especially when it comes to having a child. But thanks to increasingly affordable fertility treatments, more people are making their dreams come true. This baby girl did not get here by chance.
They told us we had a less than 1% chance.
4-month-old Rhea Harless, named after the Greek goddess of fertility, is here thanks to science.
I want her to know how. The birds and the bees was not how she came to be. She's different.
And because of the increasingly affordable cost of in vitro fertilization.
Over the course of about a year, we saved up everything we had to achieve this.
Rhea is also here thanks to the pioneers of IVF, like Ellen Casey.
I'll never forget, I was sitting in the room waiting for the doctor to come in, and he just walked in and said, "Well, Ellen, you can't get pregnant." And he didn't look at me, and I was sitting there thinking, oh my God. You know, I'll never forget it, but I knew I would.
1 infection, 8 surgeries, then 2 failed pregnancies later, Ellen was running out of options.
I had to do it before the internet. Think about that. I had to sit in the basement of the library going through medical journals on microfilm.
Then in December of 1981, Ellen heard about the first test tube baby born in the U.S.
When Elizabeth Carr was born at Eastern Virginia Medical School in Norfolk, I knew that I would have a test tube baby. I knew it.
Ellen was admitted to an experimental program in Houston. All told, her treatment cost $60,000, and that was back in '83. That's equivalent to about $145,000 today.
At the time, luckily, Elizabeth's father, my husband, was a really successful stockbroker at the time, so we were able to afford it.
And guess what? It worked.
The first test tube baby ever born in Colorado was born right here in Colorado Springs 2 days ago.
It was the easiest delivery, easiest pregnancy, and she was a joy from the second she was born.
Elizabeth's birth announcement graced the front page of USA Today. Ellen talked to every local and national reporter who asked, hoping to increase awareness and normalize the procedure.
Every morning after my husband would go to work, I would go and pick up the newspaper, the Colorado Springs Gazette, and flap it open to the letters to the editor and read to see if anyone had written in that her birth was an abomination. But no one ever did. They were all so nice about it, but I was so worried.
She made the rounds on national talk shows.
I'm a perfectly normal woman. Yeah, I was a young woman at the time and had a perfectly normal darling baby, and I wanted people to know this isn't a morally illicit, which is what the Pope said.
And now fast forward 33 years.
It's obviously a huge compliment. It's something that shows me how much they truly loved me and truly wanted a baby.
Elizabeth, Colorado's first test tube baby, is all grown up, married, living with her husband in Chicago. Only now fully understanding the impact her mother made.
That makes it just so much more meaningful to me, knowing that because of my mom and the things that she was willing to go through to prove out that process, that my close friends now are able to have their adorable children.
And now both Elizabeth and Ellen are thrilled to see the barriers to having a baby torn down. And here's the guy who's doing just that.
It is one of the most amazing gifts in my life, is the thousands of babies that I've been able to assist.
Dr. Paul Magarelli, a board-certified reproductive endocrinologist and infertility specialist, credits a major breakthrough in reproductive technology.
I can say almost to everybody, if you're willing to embrace this technology and I make it affordable, you have a better than 50% chance. That is remarkable to be able to say that versus when I started in the 80s, 3%.
So Dr. Magarelli turned the industry on its head.
Everyone's in our field fights for those 1 or 2 people at the top of this pyramid of care. And you know, for 20 years, that's what I did. But when I turned 60, I said, this isn't feeling good.
He did something revolutionary.
So I sat down with my crew, I reviewed all my data. We all took a 15% pay cut across the board, every single staff member.
He slashed prices to $4,800 for the most basic IVF, compared to the national average of $12,000. From there, he goes up to $8,900 for the most effective option. His margins went way down, but the number of patients, and eventually parents, multiplied.
60% of my patients are young guys and gals in the military. They don't make very much.
And thankfully, the cost of medical equipment and technology has fallen.
Well, if it's less expensive and more accessible, and there's a lot more people trained in it, you would think it would be less and less expensive.
So think about it this way. The first VCRs cost $1,200 back in the late 70s. I bought this DVD player for $29 about 2 years ago, and it's probably cheaper now. Medical technology, just like all this stuff, gets cheaper and better over time.
I don't charge little. I still think $4,800 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money to me. Please ask your doctor wherever you are, why is it $20,000? You know, it would be like the first car, or that Ford decided that the cars people could have would cost $100,000 and now $1 million. Yes, people would have cars, but think of all of industry and life that would never have gone on without having a low-cost way of making babies. No, cars.
Now researchers estimate well over 5 million babies have now been born worldwide with the help of fertility treatments. Elizabeth, of course, was one of the very first, while little Rhea is one of the more recent. 2 lives forever linked to science.
Words can't describe how happy she makes us.
Never, ever, ever give up.
Now keep in mind, even with that $4,800 option, when you include all the medications and additional tests, cost to baby is around $10,000, and there are no guarantees. There are so many individual variables when you're talking about fertility issues that I couldn't possibly cover in this newscast. So if you're looking to go down this road, talk to a doctor and ask lots of questions.